Hey, Gopher fans, welcome to another edition of Gopher Talk. I'm Mike Grimm with Gopher Radio and GopherSports.com. Our Gopher Talk, as always, is presented by Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, committed to the safety of their members, employees, and communities during this time. Learn more at affinityplus.org. And we're going to talk Golden Gopher men's hockey as they get ready for the Big Ten tournament, which was bumped up by a few days. So Sunday, the first game, Minnesota and Michigan State in that opening round as the Gophers look to hopefully win that tournament, get the automatic bid into the NCAA. Blake McLaughlin, the Gopher forward out of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, joins us. And Blake, first of all, good to see you.
It's good to see you guys.
Well, how excited are you? Here you are, I think your coach even said it's banner hanging season. So an opportunity here as we approach next week to start, I know, a 2 or 3 or 4 week stretch that you're hoping continues a lot of winning ways.
Yeah. I was actually just talking to one of my roommates, Ben Myers, not too long ago. I think it was like 5-10 minutes before we hopped on this call, and we're just talking. It's like, we can't wait to just start, one and done type of season. It's really easy to get up for games. We were talking about it, you just, you don't really need anyone to hype you up for one of these games. It's just kind of win, move on, lose, you go home, and no one wants to go home. So it's pretty easy to just kind of get energized and be ready for the games. You can't really make too many excuses within the 60 minutes of a game. So you kind of just got to gut out everything and just kind of make sure you do all the little things to get the wins.
And from that standpoint, you guys obviously have had a great year coming off of last weekend. Take me through the mindset, because you had the chance to hang the first banner and then on Friday weren't able to get that win. I thought you had, as a team, all kinds of good scoring chances, and they got pushed aside. And so now you have to recover from that and move at it, another opportunity here.
Yeah, so obviously with their game this Friday, I think if anyone was watching that game, it was just Michigan's goalie. It kind of robbed us of the game. He was unbelievable. We couldn't really get to him, and credit to him. He's a great goaltender and kind of stood on his head for Michigan, and we couldn't really get any pucks around him. Kind of a little heartbreaking too. You get back into the locker room, that Wisconsin won, so they kind of had the ball was in their court now, and we couldn't do anything. But I think still just ending the season on a high note with a win, and just kind of rolling it over into this next week into the Big Ten playoffs is huge for us. So hopefully we keep it rolling.
Yeah, I think if you play and get the chances you had on that Friday game, you're going to win most nights, right? Even moving forward against real competition.
I would hope so. So.
Yeah, no question. I thought there were a lot of good opportunities there. All right, so let's as you look at the Big Ten tournament and the structure, as you say, you like to get into the one and done. Michigan State is that first team. You guys handled them a couple of times not that long ago. You're 4-0 this year against them, but they were at Mariucci a couple of weeks ago, and you guys, blew through them. They're struggling a little bit, but how is it as a team that's the favored team now? Do you go into that, knowing that hockey is a strange thing? There's puck luck involved, and you guys will have to come out sharp.
You can go up and down all the levels, in the NHL. It could be the best team playing the worst team in the league, and you'll never know the score. Hockey's a funny game, and pucks can go any which way. So, you just got to be prepared, bring your A game, and just do the little things to, hopefully achieve the goal. And, obviously most teams' goals are the national championship. So hopefully that we can achieve that and just play the right way and do the little things.
I've heard some hockey pundits here in the last couple of weeks talk about you guys have been really good at getting the leads, holding the leads, and winning. And you've had some games where you fell behind and did come back to win. I think of one of the Wisconsin games. I think of a couple of early Arizona State games. But the idea of coming from behind, like last Friday, what do you guys think on that in terms of trying to get that mentality that if you do give up the first goal, that the game's still there to be had and not to panic?
Yeah, I think just even for that Friday night game when Wisconsin kind of popped that first one in on us, you kind of could see it. We had multiple chances beforehand, and then they kind of get a power play, went off one of our penalty killer skates off a stick, went to the guy back door. And, one of those goals you just can't really get that mad about. It just kind of was like ping pong out there, went every which way, and then kind of found its way into the back of the net. So, can't get too frustrated on bounces like that. So, I think it's just keeping a cool head and just, just never trying to force too much and trying to create too much, just take what's given and try to play off that. So.
You have been part of a team that's hung a banner, I think, to your Grand Rapids team in St. Paul, winning in 2016 the state championship. Certainly, there are guys on this team that have done that as well. What kind of mentality does it take to get into that one and done setting, and then eventually, ultimately, hoist that trophy?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm kind of getting repetitive with myself here, but I mean, it's seriously just coming into each and every game, not focusing about your next game or who your next opponent's going to be. You don't care about anything else that's going on in, college hockey and stuff. You just really care about that 60 minutes and what it's going to take each and every shift to, get the upper hand on the line that you're facing that night. So, I mean, it really comes down to your one-on-one battles, your line battles, and your team battles. And I mean, you just got to make sure you're doing your part and to help the team, and hopefully the team does their part. And, I think if everyone's firing on all cylinders, that you should end up winning that game. So.
And obviously, it helps when you got a guy like Jack LaFontaine in the pipes too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make our lives too horrible. Yeah, that guy's been unbelievable for us. I mean, he's won us such a handful of games. Just him being, it's so crazy how just positive he is throughout the entire week and stuff, and leading up to the games, he's as good as he is every game in, game out. I mean, it's just so fun to be around that guy. So.
I mentioned your Grand Rapids tournament. I want to ask you about Grand Rapids in general and what kind of pride you take in that. Obviously, a big hockey town. They've won state titles. They've sent guys to the Gophers. They sent guys to the NHL. How proud are you of your hometown?
I could go on for a pretty good time about this, but no, the community of Grand Rapids and the people there are just unbelievable. I moved there when I was 11, 12, and I've just been welcomed with open arms ever since. And I couldn't give enough back to the people of Grand Rapids. They've been amazing to me. So, I mean, I'm lucky to say I'm from a town up on the Iron Range, especially the one being Grand Rapids. So take it to heart. And, I thought it was kind of funny. I was talking to just I got a younger friend who's playing for Rapids right now, Jack Peart. And I was just watching one of their games. I think it was 4 or 5 nights ago. They were playing Roseau and they ended up winning. And it's just fun seeing guys playing in that barn again. Everyone's having fun, and it just brings back some memories. So it was just awesome to see everyone there. So
when you moved there, when you were 11 or 12 years old, at that point, did you know you were a pretty elite high-level hockey player? And what was it like then growing up in that kind of a community that kind of embraced the sport?
I kind of growing up there, I think I had a little too much arrogance in myself, a little too much cockiness. Just because I played on a pretty good summer team down in the cities, and I kind of got into the youth hockey program in Grand Rapids, and I met up with Mike Miller, Gavin Hain, Mitchell Matz, and Alex Adams, Jonah, my brother Jonah, and I got kicked in the teeth pretty quickly there. I mean, those guys probably had 50, 60 pounds on me, a couple inches, and they were just toying with me. So it took me a little bit to figure out, all right, you got to work about twice as hard to be maybe just as good as one of those guys. So yeah.
It kind of molded you, though, right? I mean, it's kind of set an example early.
Yeah, for sure. They kind of molded me into the player I am today. So.
All right, so you got a few days before you guys head out as we record this to South Bend for the tournament. What's the goal here the last few days of practice before you hit this stretch run?
I think it's just kind of slowly ramping up the pace in practice. You see it within our game a lot is just being a transition 3-on-2 shutdown team and turning everything north as quick as we can. So I think kind of getting back on that page and making sure our details are in check and in order, and make sure everyone's still having fun and still enjoying being out there, and, hopefully get a couple good pre-scouts in and get ready for Michigan State. So,
well, we're having fun watching. Best of luck. It's an exciting time of year. Thank you, Blake.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, he's Blake McLaughlin, Golden Gopher forward from Grand Rapids. That's been Gopher Talk presented by Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. So long, Gopher fans.